Hello everybody, this is Freehaven and I am June. Today we are going to do a little bit of theory crafting for the new Earth2 rating system that will be, in theory, coming out soon. I don't know what soon is, but we do have a tweet from Shane indicating that it will be live on the test site within the next few days. So, we can't actually do any rating there, but we can buy tiles, and we do know that tiles have an impact on your raid experience. So, with what little information that we do know, this video is going to talk about some buying strategies that may or may not work. It's hard to say 100%. I'm only going off of what little information we know. So before we get into the test site, let's first talk about what we actually know about how rating works. So, number one, we know that there will be a limited number of droids per property. So, 1 to 3 tile properties, they cannot support any of them. And then we have the chart right here that shows that 4 tiles is the minimum size property to get 1 droid. And then it's not just every 4 tiles you get 1, you get diminishing returns. So all the way up to, if you have a 750 tile property, you will only get 10 droids, which, now, I mean, this isn't really the topic of the video, but this is a pattern with Earth2. I don't really understand why they're incentivizing people not to spend a lot of money on big plots of land, because this is not the first time where they've made it clear that owning smaller plots is actually more beneficial on the platform than having larger ones. So, for example, right here, as I said, you have 750 tile plot and you get 10 droids. But if you were to have break that into 4 tile chunks, you would have, I think, 187 droids. And so that's a rather significant difference. Like, another example of this is when you're building holobuildings. If you get 20 vertices per tile, but that stops once you get to 7,500 vertices, which is 375 tiles. So really, you only get the benefit of a 375 tile plot as a holo builder, compared to what, and it should be effectively double that for, buying the more expensive property, which doesn't make sense. And then we have also seen that in jewel generation. But again, that's not really the topic of this video, but a general question about how they're building this is like, why are they encouraging people not to buy more expensive land? I don't really understand the logic of this. But in any case, so we know that the size of your land will determines how many droids you can get. We also know that droids, when they go to harvest the essence and compete for taking it off of a neighboring plot of land, there is travel time. So we know that there's going to be jewels to increase speed, and we know that there's going to be storage capacity issues. Excuse me. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So that might have an impact on where you choose to buy your land. And those are pretty much the 2 principles I'm going to be working with for the purpose of the theory crafting video. Whether or not these ideas will actually be effective when droids are released and raiding starts, I have no idea, but it seems like it could be logical. So now we're going to actually log into the test site. I'm already here. So, okay, I've already topped up with a modest amount of money. Now let's go to buy land. And right here, we are looking at Disney World. That's Disney World in Florida. And you can see people have bought a lot of big plots in this area. Now, if I think that this person has been, AFK for a long time and they're not actually checking in to collect their essence, looks like this guy bought his plot in April. So who knows if this guy keeps signing in. It doesn't really matter because this is just a demo. But let's say like this was super old. He bought it back at the beginning and we don't know if he's even still active on the platform. So what a lot of people might be tempted to do is just go ahead and, okay, I'm going to do a really big land, 750 tile plot. Just so, I'll have a lot of droids right next to this guy. And let's see, we're at 716. I'm not actually going to buy it, but 749. Okay. So I could buy this and then I would have 10 droids right next to this guy's big plot here. And I mean, it's a strategy, but I'm not sure if it's actually the most effective strategy for the situation. So presumably, the more droids you have, the more chances you have to collect the essence. I don't think that it will be able to necessarily collect more. It's more like buying more lottery tickets in order to be the one that gets to take it back to your home property. So yeah, the first strategy is, and I actually kind of skipped over it when I decided to just highlight all those 750 tiles, is to buy close to the property that you think you're going to be able to harvest the most essence. But I think that what might be more effective than just doing these huge plots is to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, buy that plot here, buy now, pay with account balance, go back to buy land. So now we have one droid that can be raiding this plot every day. Let's do that again. Buy now. Pay with account balance. Okay, so I've done this twice now. So now I have effectively 2 droids that are right there, right? I mean, so there's no travel time now because it's right there. I mean, it's literally the next cell over. So by buying right next to the property, you effectively eliminate the need for your droids to travel. And when you configure these with gems, you can put them more into, I don't know, like carrying capacity or whatever else, whatever the other options are. But I'm not sure if you noticed, but I've been buying these in long strips. And why do I do that? Because now each one of these strips has a tile touching the target property that I think I'm going to want to raid on a daily basis. If I were to, let's clear this selection. If I were to build 4 tile blocks like this, I'm effectively limiting myself from being able to put more droids that will be able to spam raid this every day. Because now I've taken up 2 blocks of surface area for 1 droid, as opposed to if I were to, let's clear the selection, go 1 like that, and then buy that plot, and then buy another one. These 2 touching tiles could be sending 2 different droids instead of 1. So that is, just having 1 tile touch point, that can be a strategy just to have more droids going into the target property every day and harvesting the essence. And this isn't going to be something that you want to do where you have accounts where, maybe somebody just, forgets to sign in. Maybe they only sign in once a week. This is for when you find a plot with an account that appears to have be inactive for 6 months, a year, or longer, because the chances of them signing in every day is quite low, which means that most likely every day there's going to be more essence for you to farm and harvest. Another thing to consider is, let's say you find the perfect plot that you want to raid every day, and you're afraid that other people are going to come in and start raiding it, have the same idea as you. Well, that's when you can start doing something like this. Clear selection. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's, now I have a 4-tile plot. I'll go ahead and buy it now. Buy land. Okay, so now I've bought this 4-tile horizontal plot, and I'm taking up these 4 touching tiles of this against this property, and I'm only getting 1 droid. So if I have unlimited money, this is not a very good strategy to use. But let's say, I'm looking at all these tiles and I'm like, you know what? I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to afford to buy, a 4-tile enclosure all the way around this huge block of land. By doing this and surrounding the perimeter, you're effectively blocking other people from being able to buy plots with 0 transit time, which means that you're going to be able to harvest more quickly because there is no travel time. So whether they just buy tiles like right here, or if they are coming from farther, they still have to spend the extra time to travel from one place to the other, whereas you don't when you box something in. So really, which strategy you decide to do is going to be depending on your budget and whether or not you think that you can enclose this in these vertical blocks. Oh, let's clear the... Oh, what happened? Okay. So whether or not you believe you're going to have enough money to actually, box this in all the way around or not. Because of course it can get expensive doing that. So yeah, so that's one, is more of a preventive strategy to get people from taking essence before you do, and then the other is just fielding as many drones as you can to go after one property. If all you care about is raiding, 4-tile blocks as of right now is the way to go, because again, would you rather have 187 drones or droids to do your raiding for less money than by buying up the amount of tiles that you need for that, compared to 750 tile plot, which will cost more money because it's not evenly divisible by 4 and you only get 10. But is there a situation in raiding when you think that where it might actually be better to have a big property like that 750 tile monster? I do think that there are situations like that, but they aren't going to be as common. But let's pretend this is an area that's really heavily bought. There's people everywhere and there's limited tile space. So let's say that someone's already bought, this a huge area over here, and there's just not enough land to buy multiple 4-tile blocks everywhere. This is where having big land can help, but I don't think the benefit is as big as, losing access to, 18 times the number of droids that you could have. But let's imagine again that this is a very populated area of the map, and it's hard to find a tile because there's many groups of 4 tiles because it's a resort or a famous place or something. So you see here, I have 1 tile selected. So that's where we have our touch point here. Then what you can do is, let's get away from the resort. I don't know what this is here. Let's click. No. Okay, there's 1 tile there. Let's keep going. 2 tiles there. Keep going. 5 tiles. Keep going. Farther away. Okay, keep going. Farther away. Okay, keep going. Farther away. Keep going. Farther away. I mean, you can see we're getting pretty far away, and we're still have the same plot. Keep going. Farther away. Got some golf courses over here. Okay, this is getting pretty far away, and it's still letting me buy these tiles on the same plot. Eventually, I'm going to get an error. Okay, so the selected area is too large. So that means that we're at the maximum distance. So now let's keep clicking down until the error goes away. Okay, so about here. So now let's go ahead and buy this huge plot. We're going to go ahead and make it a 750. Got some nice lakes there. Oh, that's too far away. Keep going. Got ourselves a baseball field. So it seems like that line right there is how far we can go. 748. And then 750. So now we have this. We're going to do buy now. Pay with account balance. Dun dun. And go back to the map. So now I have a 750 tile plot. And now let's go back down to that first tile that I bought. And you see here, again, the map is pretty empty here, but let's imagine this is a very busy area where it's hard to find a tile close to what you want. We now have 1 tile touching the target property, and now in theory, we should be able to launch 10 droids from this 1 tile in a very high demand area. And there should be no travel time because, again, the plot is touching the target that you want to raid. So that's another possible strategy. We don't really know where on the property the droids will spawn. So, I mean, I'm just assuming that they can travel out from any tile that's on the property and it won't necessarily be in the middle of it. So assuming that's the case, that is a way to get 10 droids raiding this 1 plot with just 1 tile touching. And if you have a lot of money, you can do it again and again and have 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 I mean, I question whether or not that would be the best use of resources, because there will be limited essence to harvest, but you could, in theory, have 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 all the way around, and then, you know, you would have a significant number of droids to make you more competitive in a densely populated area. Aside from that, I think that's about it, because I mean, right now raiding isn't even live on stage 2 as of the time I'm filming this, so we can't really test any of this, but this is just some early strategy for people that are thinking about getting into raiding. I did a lot of buying last night to kind of show you what it might look like. I mean, I just demoed, you know, buying a few small plots, but let's go back to the profile page. And I did a lot of buying in Hawaii last night. I found some plots and I said, okay, I'm hoping to test this with raiding if the guy doesn't sign in. If he does, then I guess I just wasted a lot of time. But Honolulu. All right, we're 4 tile plot. Okay. So let's go here. All right. So this here is Meta. Sorry, Meta. I love your YouTube channel, but you're acting as my victim for the purpose of this demonstration. So you can see here, I went ahead, I went 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 all the way down. So I'll have one droid, you know, all the way down this column assaulting this. On the one on the water, I was more complete. Let's see here. Oh, come on. Load. Where's all my stuff on the water? Is this the wrong plot? Wait a second. It might be in the wrong spot that I bought. Apparently I bought more Hawaii than I remembered. Let's go back to my profile and find... This isn't the one I imagined. Bear with me. All right, let's try this one. Urban Honolulu. Yeah, I did not plan this part of the video. Okay, here we go. So this guy, you know, I was testing out different strategies when I was buying here, but so with this guy here, if this was my target property, this, I have a lot of, you know, there's 4 droids here, 4 droids here, 4 droids here. This one connects to another 4 tile thing. There's 1 here, then 3 up here. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, like so many around here. And so like this guy is just going to get zerged every single day, especially once we get the pilots and you can auto raid. So this, like all of these tiles here that don't have flags, these are all mine. So this was going to be to test the strategy of, you know, just having one touch point for the most part. And then fielding droids there. Other, like when I was coming up with the strategy about having the far away, like this one, it has 4 tile touch point, and then this is a 750 tile plot. Somebody else owns this land here. So there's 4 points of contact, but then that will be a 10 droid raiding team there. In terms of, this isn't really strategy for the live site, but if you're just looking to see like active areas, where people may be testing the raid stuff. What you can also do is when you're logged into the test site, go here to the feed and look where people are buying stuff that at least not anonymous people. Apparently, I am the only non-anonymous person. Okay, there we go. So this person bought something in London, so you can click there. Go to the property. And then you can just start buying around the property. Oh. Okay. This is a good situation where you can use that strategy where you buy the big plot. So we have one plot here and we have one plot here. It's hard to see because they don't have a flag set. So I put one tile there. And we're just going to buy a big... Buy now. So now that's a way to find where people are active on the map. And I know that right now, according to what we've seen in the videos, rating depends on people basically being AFK and not signing into their accounts. But if we ever get any real PvP where we can actively work against people who are playing now, this is a way that you'll be able to find people that are using the test site, presumably to test the new features such as rating, and then you can buy around them to, test those capabilities. And so I did a bit of that yesterday. I saw some guy buying in Australia, so I went to see where it was, and I started buying stuff around him just in case they decide that they're going to introduce some PvP elements to rating. So that we can fight against each other and test it out before it hits the live site. So that is all for now. Again, it's hard to make too much commentary without actually having anything either on the live site or on the test site. But hopefully this will give you some strategy. And if you haven't checked it out yet, have a look over at e2.wtf. It's the social media site that I have made with the Earth2 community in mind. It has a brand new market for lands and holobuildings that makes it easier to find the stuff that you're wanting, with search terms and an extensive category breakdown, so that it doesn't get whatever you're looking for doesn't get buried in 2-cent listings and stuff that you can't actually even load on the site in the case of some lands. So yeah, that's e2.wtf. It's a metaverse, Earth2. I'm also including Luna Sky and some other projects in it. Social media platform that's very similar to Facebook plus a holo building market. That's all for now, and bye-bye.